Welcome to a little different episode of Sailing Panda. We spent 3 months here on the Hamble River working hard on our sailboat, and we want to show you some of those projects. So, fair warning, this is a project episode. There's no sailing, no exploring, just wrenching. Now, of the myriad of projects completed, here are 8 that you might find interesting. We installed a hot water heater, a big alternator to charge our lithium batteries, rebuilt our starter motor, replaced our arch with Dinghy Davits, installed Solbian solar panels, got rid of some anchor chain, installed insulation, and serviced our outboard. Now, let's jump into our first project, installing hot water. All right, today I am start this over again. Can you hit me, please?
I asked you before you started. You just ignored me.
All right, good morning. Today's a big project day for me. I'm going to be starting the water heater install, which is like one of the biggest projects on the list. First step is get in there and demolish, remove pretty much all the pumps that we have, all the piping, and start with new. So we will get started. Here we are in Panda's engine bay. This is where like pretty much everything mechanical is housed on this boat. So we have all pumps, the motor, all the water stuff, freshwater systems. The motor, this is what I call pump row. We have our first we have our refrigeration compressor, our freshwater pump, our saltwater pump for our air conditioner, and then our bilge pump. And then all that runs through the accumulator that's up there. We have a freshwater filter here, and then kind of all the distribution system. The hot water heater will go right here, right in this area. After sailing for over a year without hot water, most of which in freezing cold waters, we were super excited for this, well, we'd say a luxury item. Even though it meant disassembling a lot of our old work, I think it's quite worth it. Okay, we just got the bilge pump disconnected. That is really stenchy. It smells terrible. Like the grossest bilge water ever. Well, here is our new hot water heater. Thought I'd show you the heater while I unbox it here. This one's from Quick. I guess it's made in Italy. And it was pretty much the same size as what came with the boat. This one's a little bit shorter, a little smaller. So we got some mounting brackets, loud screechy noises, and my little hot water baby. An upgrade from the last one that was originally in the boat is this has an electric element as well. So not only does it use engine coolant that goes through to heat this thing up when you're running the engine, but you can connect it to power and heat it up that way too. It has like a 1200 watt heater. You can follow me.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Moment of truth.
Oh, that'll fit nicely.
It just fits.
So yeah, this is great news. While I have it unmounted, I figure I'll just do all the connections inside where it's nice and warm. So this is we're installing a regulating valve for the hot water side. So what this does is it allows you to adjust kind of the temperature output of this hot water, and it mixes cold water side into it. Okay, we got it mounted. That is a big step. So it fit in here. I put a through bolt through this strap through that through this engine mount part. So got both of them in here. Now it is solid.
It sound right, boys.
Have to cut through this one. All right, I think we're almost complete. I've plumbed up, I think just about everything. So ready to fill up the engine with some water again and then give it a start. We have our freshwater pump, our AC pump, our bilge pump is all set, our new hot water heater, cold water in, hot water out. Now that we have hot water, let's get our alternator situation sorted. This way, we can have a much better charging of our lithium battery bank when the solar isn't, well, solaring. This is the 170 amp, and it's the full kit, so it comes with a regulator and everything. Okay, so here's the regulator kit that it comes with. Looks like they give us some mounting kit, which is nice. Some screws, washers, and the temperature sensor. It's like Christmas. Whoa. It's so pretty. Look at this. Oh man. Power me up. Oh, here she is, sitting real nice. So our engine came with this kind of accessory tray. There's an alternator, and then there was a refrigeration pump mounted here. So right now, yeah, luckily the alternator just fits in these foot mounts, and I just have to line up where this new pulley goes on this shaft. And here's a view of our pulley. Got this pulley fully on. I had to remove the alternator again, grind out a little bit of a bolt there to get it more this way to align it. And now I got a belt on, and it's looking pretty good. I'm off to program the alternator. So this is a Balmar MC614 regulator. It's pretty like standard in the lithium kind of high-end alternator setup. That essentially is just a wiring harness on a test bench. So I'll connect this to my ship's power, which at my workbench, I have this 12-volt lead. So now I can just take my reed switch, do the programming, and watch my video all at the same time. I really give high regard to the Balmar company. Their alternator and regulator is very well made, directions and support fantastic, and to note, we're not sponsored by them. Here, I am programming the correct voltages and charging profile for our lithium battery bank, which is a little funny with the magnetic reed switch, but once I got a hang of it, it was a straightforward process. Well, I think this is a success. We've been running it for like half an hour now, and the alternator temperature is steadied out at like 48°C. And it's still putting out like 60 amps or so, 50 to 60 amps. We have the belt manager on its highest setting, which is like 55%. So meaning the alternator should be able to produce 40% more, something like that. Whew, this is, I think deserve a beer tonight. Next on the list is our starter. And what better place to get an English starter rebuilt than, well, here in England. Alright, well, today on Panda Boat, the project is removing the starter motor. The starter motor looks original on the boat, so 40 years of service. It still worked just fine, but there's a service shop here that I'd like to take it to, considering once the engine started, like, it's all mechanical from there, but this is the one electrical part of a diesel motor that requires perfection, or else the whole system doesn't work. So starter motor in my backpack, it's weighing me down, and a solenoid, and we're walking to this place called Just Starters and Alternators. Great freaking name.
£3.50 for a single.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Horses in there. There we go.
See you there.
Hello, you must be Mike.
Yeah, I am.
Mike, I'm Darren. We spoke over the phone Friday. I have a starter for you, and
You're the import from America.
I am the import. Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And in just 1 week, Mike had the starter rebuilt and ready for pickup. Hello, Mike.
What, Joe?
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Alright, funny guys.
I just want to watch what you're doing there. That's really cool.
Did you think so? Yes, okay.
I do.
Why did you find it so interesting? I mean, when I look online, say like on YouTube, there's crazy amounts of American guys building things, making things, you know, wind turbines, little generators. And,
Yeah.
you know, America is a fantastic country where, you know, people get out and do things.
Can you tell me what you're doing there?
I'm putting new brushes in. I've just put a new rectifier in.
Okay.
This is a common fault with that make of alternator. I've done them many times. Just soldered up along there. I'm just going to put a new set of brushes in, and bingo, way to go. Oh, and another thing you had on yours was one of the springs was rusted.
Okay.
So I replaced the springs, those little curly things, because I think they just snapped.
Yeah, I see.
It wasn't like they rusted or anything like that.
Okay. All right, Mike. It's been a pleasure, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he replaced the brushes, he replaced the wire and insulation to those brushes. He actually said the brushes were in okay condition, but the insulation was just kind of corroding because it's been a long time. But yeah, he said it's a typical starter, like for a boat. It hasn't really seen that many starts, so it's actually in pretty good condition. It was just that insulation was bad. Also, the front bush here was wearing a bit, so he replaced that. And yeah, and then just kind of cleaned it up and off we go. So really excited to get this mounted today and see if we can get the engine all running again. That'll feel good. One more project done. Yes! Yeah, we did it! Oh, she started right up, like no problem. Awesome. One of the bigger projects was to remove the solar arch and replace it with Dinghy Davits. This is quite a bit of work, a lot of engineering, but we think it was well worth it. Well, big changes here. We are working on the solar arch. We are actually going to fully remove the solar arch and the solar panels and the aluminum structure and all the cabling. And we're gonna go with the Dinghy Davits system. Yeah, we have these new davits and we're going to install them instead. So we have all kinds of reasoning for this. We'll get into that later. But for now, here's some hard work. Well, now is probably a good time to explain our reasonings while you watch us disassemble what we built prior to setting off. We didn't expect to land in many marinas, and navigating tight spots around docks is super stressful with a large overhanging arch. Next was the weight up high and windage in big storms. Once removed, we could already feel our boat rocked less and we had less weather helm and stronger winds. Our goal was to replace with a system in which one person could launch and retrieve the dinghy, hence the davits. Okay, so we're here at the welding shop getting our davits all repaired. I bought these things, but they have a little bit of a crack in the base, so
if we can weld it to that and then have the same thickness as this to make up the gaps so that when it's sat on the teak it's flush all the way through. Do you see what I mean?
We'll weld that up first. Both of those cracks. Then we'll put the other piece on the top. And then put another weld over the top. So it's doubling it up, you know.
I love this idea. Okay, got the davits off to the fabricator. Gonna make a plate, do some weld repair, and next is we're gonna make like a teak base plate that the davits can sit on. Big thanks to Helen at THL Super Yachts for helping me with this project. You can see they have this plate now added on. They ground out this weld and re-weld and then welded the plate all the way around. And then I also had them add a little ring here. This is going to hold our stern swim platform. We'll put a line here that'll go down.
So this is starboard, just to confirm.
That is starboard, yes. right, we're in the aft cabin where we have the bolts that we need to cut off from the davits. So the bolts come through here, and we have this excess length, so I'm gonna just trim them close.
Well, this is the true dedication of Darren's hard work on Panda tonight. We got hailed on, and now it's freezing cold outside, dark, and Darren is still trying to finish these davits. He's just cleaning up some of the caulking or the adhesive material they put between the boards, but it's truly incredible to see his dedication.
We got them mounted, and we got all the like bonding, what do you call it?
I said caulking and adhesive.
Yeah, that stuff. It's specifically a Sikaflex 291i, I don't know, is what we used. And all the excess that come up, I'm like scraping it away and then using a little bit of acetone to like get the rest.
Got super cold tonight.
What was I saying? I was saying, oh, shrimp gumbo, barbecue shrimp,
salad.
No, shrimp.
Yeah.
Shrimp gumbo, no, barbecue shrimp, boiled shrimp. That's about all the shrimp there is. Yachting.
A true yachtsman. Hard at work.
Well, the davits are pretty much installed. We just have a bit of like cleanup work to do, but we got them mounted. The through bolts are in, they're all caulked and sealed. Since installation, we have sailed a few thousand miles on this setup, and so far we love it. It makes for really easy launching and retrieving of our new dinghy. Our view is also no longer obstructed with the dinghy at the bow, and all the weight is kept aft, which has helped tremendously in big seas. We look forward to sailing more on this setup, and well, we'll get back to you on our long-term evaluation. With the loss of our solar arch, we need to make up for that loss of power. So let's see how we accomplish that. Well, we have an exciting project ahead. We've just received shipment of our new Solbian solar panels. These aren't just normal like glass solar panels, rigid. These are flexible solar panels. So we can actually mount these to a curved deck, and they're walkable too. You can walk on them. They don't have any wires that go like on top. They're all like through the deck. So we're really excited about these panels. This is our quest to get solar back on our boat now that we've removed the arch. Think you'll make it?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're drilling holes in the boat. This is the start of the solar installation. A little nervous to drill these holes, but it's got to be done. In the end, it's just fiberglass. It can be repaired, right? There we go. Now to save some time, I won't bore you with the wiring details, but in short, it's just 2 wires into a Victron charge controller, then wired to the ship's 12-volt system for charging. We drilled holes and filled with epoxy to protect the wood core. The process is repeated for 2 other panels, which we mounted on the mizzen areas. We also installed a panel on the davits, one that can be tilted for optimum performance. In all, we now have 590 watts of solar. It's less than we had with our arch, but the Balmar alternator will now take up for the difference.
Yeah.
Boom! Our next project involves our anchor chain. Time to shorten it up, remove some unused chain, and take the weight out of the bow. Was there any others I missed? Like, they take up about the same space, but this is substantially lighter than this. I could barely even pick this up. I could just kind of slide it around, really reducing a lot of the weight that's at the bow of the boat. I guess now I could start on the splicing part. Some YouTube University. I have no clue how to do it.
Shout out to Free Range Sailing for the excellent tutorial on splicing rope rode to chain. We found this to be a good way to increase the length of our ground tackle while reducing a serious amount of weight at the bow. The splicing was pretty straightforward and will pass through our windlass.
Bitter end of the rope, there it is. A substantial mount here. This is on, this number is on, this is tight. Chain job successful. It's repainted, remarked, flipped, and we added 40 meters of rope road.
Winter has arrived, and in an uninsulated boat, it's very tough. Time to keep us warm and stop the condensation by installing some insulation.
And yeah, I can just peel this back.
You would not believe how bad the mold smell was. Removing the stamped material and replacing with foam insulation is an absolute game changer. It was a bit of work to clean and glue the foam into place. It definitely took 2 people to spread the adhesive and hold the foam until it would stay put, but the results are well worth it.
This is the finished product. Doesn't look too bad, eh?
In 2 years of ownership, we have yet to service our outboard, so time to change that gear oil.
This project, changing the Yamaha outboard gear oil.
It was harder than I thought to remove the drain and fill plugs, but it took a bit of time, and once removed, the old oil came out looking quite clean and no metallic particles, so that is good.
All right, this is our first ride in Duchess.
We did so many more projects than we've shown you here, but at least you got a glimpse of the work, upgrades, maintenance, and repairs. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I hope for others planning upgrades like this that they might help, or at least provide some entertainment. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe. It helps a ton. And if you want to support us further, find us on Patreon.
I just got this vest, and I literally just got, I don't even know what was orange that I ate. This looks like smoothie, but I have no idea what that is. What the fuck? God, ow! Oh, ow! Oh, the end hurts. It's hard.
I'll give you my hard end.
That hurt. I farted again, too.
Oh God.
The things we do to capture it on film. Yeah. I'm in timeout.
Leftover panda food.
It looks like I'm a bird. I just had like fruit and nuts